I want to share my experience teaching my daughter Taiwanese. As a linguistics major, I can be more familiar with the advantages and benefits of bilingualism, which is used in its broad sense here to refer to the ability to speak two or more languages comfortably. So I'm determined to pass on Taiwanese to my children. The most efficient and easiest way to achieve this goal off the top of my head is through immersion. Since my family, except my wife, are native speakers of the language, and we do communicate with each other in Taiwanese. However, it is always easier said than done. My first plan was to ask my parents to speak Taiwanese to my daughter Lumi, and when all interactions with the grandparents are in Taiwanese, no doubt she'll grow into a native speaker. So weeks ago, I mentioned to my parents that I wanted them to help my daughter Lumi become a confident Taiwanese speaker by immersing her in the language. I thought it would be a piece of cake for my parents and they would happily agree and they would even think of this idea as smart. Well, the fact is they disapproved of the idea and even considered it unnecessary and hilarious. Unnecessary in that a person can go about their lives fine, totally fine, without being able to speak Taiwanese fluently. And hilarious because they couldn't imagine how the next generation could ever acquire Taiwanese and be proficient in it. My father went on to express his concerns that exposure to both Mandarin and Taiwanese may confuse Lumi and thus hinders her comprehension at school, where Mandarin is the medium of instruction. I was thoroughly stunned at my father's reply, for he made his argument quite organized. And there was no point in arguing with my parents because, like most Taiwanese, they gravitate toward an all-Mandarin environment. So the task of teaching Lumi Taiwanese falls solely on me. And I was surprised to find that I myself found it weird to speak Taiwanese to Lumi. Upon deliberation, I think this is because the default language to engage in a conversation with the child is Mandarin here in Taiwan. People tend to associate cuteness with Mandarin more than with Taiwanese. The result was that I kept second-guessing almost every single word I spoke with Lumi, even though I am 100% a confident native speaker of Taiwanese. Fortunately, it didn't take me long to get myself used to speaking only Taiwanese to my daughter, and I'm positive that Lumi's Taiwanese will be good enough to initiate and hold a conversation with native speakers, which my mom was very doubtful of. I think I'll prove that it is not that hard to raise kids in Taiwanese or any language that is not the dominant one in society. And of course, I won't stop there. I'll also teach Lumi English, which is not my native language, and there will also be challenges to overcome, but I'm sure that I'll pull it off. Let's wait and see.